Assalamu alaikum, students. All of you first open your readers. We have to finish our last chapter, The Big Day Arrives. Then we'll do the grammar work. Ji Rayan.
Can I read?
Yes. Wait a second. Let everybody open the reader. Open the reader. Chapter number 13, The Big Day Arrives. Yes, start reading.
Chapter number 13, The Big Day Arrives. The sun was shining brightly on the morning of the big day, but the ground was still white with snow and the air was very cold. Outside the gates of Wonka's factory, enormous crowds of people had gathered to watch the 5 lucky ticket holders going in. The excitement was tremendous. It was just before 10 o'clock. The crowds were pushing and shouting, and policemen with arms linked trying to hold them back from were trying to hold them back from the gates. Right beside the gate, a small group that was carefully shielded from the crowd by the police stood the five
Famous
five
children.
famous five famous children together with the
Grown-ups. Together.
grown ups who had come
Correct.
with them. The
Okay.
tall boy figure
The tall bony figure of.
the tall bony figure
Yes.
of Grandpa Joe could be seen standing quietly among them, and beside him, holding tightly on to his hand, was little Charlie Bucket himself. All the children
Good.
except
Okay.
Charlie had
Okay, Rayan. Okay, good. Next, Umar Nawaz. Start reading.
All the children except Charlie had both their mothers and fathers with them, and it was a good thing that they had, otherwise the whole party might have got out of hand. They were so eager to get going that their parents were having to hold them back by force to prevent them from climbing over the gates. Be patient, cried the father. Be still, it's not time yet. It's not 10 o'clock. Behind him, Charlie Bucket could hear the shouts of people in the crowd.
Shouts of the people. Shouts of the people.
People in the crowd as they pushed and fought to get a
Glimpse.
glimpse
Glimpse
of
means
the
a look of the little children.
famous
Okay.
children. There's wild, there's Violet Bear
There's Violet Beauregard. There's Violet
Beauregard.
Beauregard.
He heard someone shouting, "That's her, all right. I
That's
can
her,
remember
all right.
her, all right. I can remember her face from the newspapers."
Yes. And you know what? Yes.
And you know what? Somebody else should back. She is still chewing that dreadful old piece of gum she's had for 3 months. You look at the jaws; they are still working on it. Who's the big fat boy? That's
Augustus
August,
Gloop.
Augustus Blue. So it is.
Okay. Yes, next. Who will read? Wait. Yes, Rohan, start reading.
G teacher.
Better there's some you can read from your book, okay? So it is. After so it is.
Yes.
Enormous, isn't he?
Enormous, fantastic. Who's the kid with a picture of the long wrangles and tie
Ranger,
on his
Ranger.
ring?
On his wind
Ranger,
sheet. Hmm.
Ranger stands on his wind cheater. That's my TV. He's a television. He's
Fiend.
a television find.
Fiend. Fiend.
He
Fiend.
must be crazy. Fiend.
Hmm.
He must be crazy. Look at all those toy pistols he's got hanging all over him. The one I want to see is Virtua Assault, shouted another voice in the crowd. She's a girl whose father bought up a up a
Million.
up half a
Half a
million
million
chocolate
chocolate bars.
bars and then made the workers in his spinner factory to unwrap
Unwrap.
every one of them until they found a golden ticket. He gives her anything she wants, absolutely anything. She only has to start screaming for him, and she gets it. Dreadful, isn't it? Shocking, I call it. Which do you think is her? That one over there on the left, the little girl in the silver mine coat. Which
Mink
one is
coat.
Charlie?
Mink coat. Okay. Okay, Rohan. Next, who wants to read? Yes. Peter, please write your full names. Who is Vivo Y15? Who's it? G Beta. Who are you? Please write your name. Unmute you. Unmute yourself, Beta. Who is YOY? I've unmuted you. You have to unmute yourself. Is it you, Ahmad Raza?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Which
Start reading.
one?
Hmm.
Which one is Charlie Bucket? Charlie Bucket. He must be that skinny little shrimp standing beside the old fellow who looks like a skeleton, very close to us, just there. See him. Why hasn't he got a coat on in this cold weather? Don't ask me. Maybe he cannot afford to
He
buy
can't
one.
afford, huh? He can't afford to buy one.
Goodness me, he must be freezing. Charlie, standing only a few paces away from the speaker, gave Grandpa Joe's hand a squeeze, and the old man looked down at Charlie and smiled. Somewhere in the distance, a church clock began striking 10, very slowly, with a loud creaking of rusty
Hinges.
the great
Iron gates
iron gates of the factory
began to
began
swing
to swing
open.
began to swing open.
Okay, Ahmad.
The crowd
Now, who will read? Fatma Kudus. Yes, Fatma. Yes,
the
start reading.
crowd the crowd became suddenly silent. The children stopped jumping about. All eyes were fixed upon the gate. There he is! Somebody shouted. What's him? And so it was.
Okay. Now I'm going to explain the chapter. The big day arrives. The sun was shining brightly on the morning of the big day, but the ground was still white with snow and the air was very cold. Because it was winter, obviously, 1st February, the day, and it was very cold, although it was a sunny day. Outside the gates of Wonka's factory, enormous crowds of people had gathered to watch the 5 lucky ticket holders going in. The excitement was tremendous. People were so much excited to see the 5 lucky winners of the golden ticket. It was just before 10 o'clock. The crowds were pushing and shouting, and policemen with arms. Arms means weapons. Linked who are trying to hold them back from the gates. The people they were pushing and jolting and they were shouting and they were trying to get a glimpse of the 5 lucky golden winners, and the policemen were trying every possible effort to keep them back. Right beside the gates, in a small group that was carefully shielded means protected from the crowds by the police, stood the 5 famous children together with the grown ups who had come with them. As in the letter, Mr. Wonka has said that the children should come with their family members, at least one or two, so that they can look after the children. The tall, bony figure of Grandpa Joe could be seen standing quietly among them, and beside him, holding tightly onto his hand, was little Charlie Bucket himself. All the children except Charlie had both their mothers and fathers with them. It was a good thing that they had, otherwise, the whole party might have got out of hand. So it was good that the children had come with their parents, both mothers and fathers, otherwise, it would be difficult to hold them back. They were so eager to get going that their parents were having to hold them back by force to prevent them from climbing over the gates. Be patient, cried the fathers. Be still. It's not time yet. It's not 10 o'clock. The children, they are always impatient, so the children could not stop themselves and they were just trying to get, climb the walls to get inside the gates. And the parents were trying every possible effort to keep them back. Behind him, Charlie, but only the one child who was not being so excited was Charlie Bucket. He could hear the shouts of the people in the crowd as they pushed and fought to get a glimpse of the famous children. There's, there's Violet Beauregard, and he heard someone shouting, "That's her, all right. I can remember her face." As people were telling about the different golden ticket holders. And you know what? Somebody else shouted back, "She's still chewing that dreadful gum she's had for 3 months." You know that she was a gum lover and she was always having gum in her mouth. Who's the big fat boy? Augustus Gloop was the big fat boy, the first founder of the golden ticket. Who's the kid with a picture of the Lone Ranger stenciled on his wind cheater? Means on his shirt there was a picture of the ranger. That's Mike TV. He's the television fiend. Television fiend means crazy for television, always addicted. Okay? He must be crazy. Mike TV was having all the toy pistols hanging all over him. Then there was Veruca Salt, whose father had bought up 500,000 chocolate bars and then sent to his factory in order to get a golden ticket. Dreadful, isn't it shocking? I call it. So people were having different views about the different golden ticket holders. Which one is Charlie Bucket? Charlie Bucket. He must be that skinny little shrimp. I've told you, skinny little shrimp. Skinny means weak. Shrimp is also a small person, weak person, who was just looking, who was standing beside the old fellow, means Grandpa Joe, who was looking like a skeleton. Why hasn't he got a coat on in this cold weather? Don't ask me, maybe he can't afford to buy one. Goodness me, he must be freezing. So people, they were having different views about the 5 children who were the lucky ones. So at exactly at 10 o'clock, the doors, the gates of the factory began to open with a creaking sound because they were being opened after so many years, after a lot of time. So that is why the hinges, the knobs, the locks were rusty. Now everybody became silent and the children stopped jumping about. All eyes were fixed upon the gates. "There he is," somebody shouted. "That's him." And so it was. So students, this was our last chapter of the midterm, from chapter number 1 till chapter number 13. Okay. So inshallah, from chapter number 14, we are going to study after the midterm exams. Yes. Now we are going to start a grammar chapter. First, I'm just going to explain it. Don't open your grammar books. You can keep your rough copies with you. Adjective is not a new word for you. Who is going to tell me the definition of an adjective? What is an adjective? Yes, Rohan, you want to ask something? Yes, Rohan. Rayan?
Can you tell what is adjective?
Okay, tell me.
Adjective is to describe something, a
Correct.
particular thing.
Correct. It is a
Like
describing word. Can you give me an example?
for example, a tall building, a rusty car, and a big fat boy.
Good. Beta adjectives, you people are, we have been doing it, I think, since class prep or at least class one. Adjectives are describing words they use to modify a noun. They use to describe a noun, a naming thing. Without adjectives, if you are writing any story without adjective, if you are reading any story, any creative writing, if you are doing anything and you are not putting any adjectives in that, then this thing looks meaningless. It doesn't look attractive enough for the reader to like to be attracted towards it or to be motivated to read it further. Okay? So adjective is a describing word. It describes, like you can see, you can say like that, I'm sitting in my big room, big cozy room on a comfortable bed. Okay? If you just write a sentence, I'm sitting in my room, there is no adjective in it. Okay? But if I say I'm sitting in my big nice room on a comfortable bed, having many books in front of me. Okay, so these are all adjectives: many, cozy, comfortable. Okay, wooden chair, big, comfortable bed. These are all adjectives. There are different types of adjectives. Okay, now we are going to start with it. Please keep your rough copies with you so that you can note down the definition. Adjective is a describing word. It qualifies a noun. Mostly adjectives are placed before a noun. Mostly, beta, when we are talking about adjectives, we put them before a noun. Okay. Examples, you can see a blue jacket, red umbrella, many people, beautiful sight, amazing story. Jacket, umbrella, people, side, story, these are all nouns. And we have put adjectives before noun to describe them. What sort of jacket? Blue jacket. What kind of umbrella? Red umbrella. How many people? Beautiful sight. What type of sight? Which side? Beautiful sight. Amazing story. These are all adjectives. Now, student, the first type of adjective is qualitative adjective. The first type of adjective is qualitative adjective. Wait a minute. Okay. So the first type is qualitative adjective. As the name indicates, it tells about the quality. Quality includes size, color, shape, any attribute, and attribute also means a quality. I walk through the deep, green, thick forest. My friend is very intelligent. Students are wearing blue shirts and gray pants. Now, students, all the words which are written in bold, which you can see in bold, these are adjectives because they are describing forest. Forest is a noun, and we have placed adjectives before a noun. What type of forest? Deep, green, thick forest. My friend is very intelligent. Although we haven't put intelligent before friend, but it is describing the quality of the friend. My friend is very intelligent. He is a lazy boy, lazy. She is a nice girl, nice. I am a hardworking student, hardworking. Okay, these are all adjectives. The students are wearing blue shirts and gray pants. What type of shirts and what type of pants? Shirts and pants are noun. So blue and gray are adjectives. So students, the first type of adjective is qualitative adjective, which describes the quality of a noun. Okay? Red pen, blue shirt, gray pants, orange tie, um, whiteboard. These are all qualitative adjectives. Intelligent, good, amazing, wonderful, nice, pretty, beautiful. These are all qualitative adjectives because they are telling about the quality of a noun. Okay? Clear till here? The next type, quantitative. You can remember it from the word quantity. It tells about the quantity or amount of uncountable nouns and number of countable nouns. Students, you know the difference when we were doing the chapter nouns. I've told you the difference between accountable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are such nouns which can be counted, like boys, girls, desks, chairs, cushions, jars, bottles, okay, teddy bears, toys, children. These are all countable nouns. Uncountable nouns are rice, milk, sugar, tea, coffee, hair. These are all uncountable nouns. Now we have to use much, a little, with uncountable nouns and number. Any number. We can put several, we can put many, we can put 20, we can put 30, we can put 4, or we can put 5. Only with countable nouns. Like we cannot say there is 20 rice in my jar. Can we say it like this? No. We can say there is much rice in the jar, or we can say there is little rice in the jar, or we can say there is a little rice in the jar, or even we can say there is a lot of rice in the jar. But we cannot use any number with the uncountable nouns. Remember this thing, okay? But with countable nouns, there are 18 students in my class. Students, noun, 18, adjective. I have 2 books with me. Books, noun, 2, quantitative, number, telling about the how many books do you have? 2 books. Several children came to see the exhibition. Children, countable, noun, several, adjective. Okay? So students, qualitative adjective describes the quality of a noun. Quantitative adjective describes about the quantity or amount of countable and uncountable nouns. You can see the examples. I have 2 bottles of mango juice. Bottles of mango juice is countable. There is little rice in the jar. Rice is uncountable, so we have put little. Many people came to see the exhibition. People are countable, so we have put many. 20 boys went missing on the tour. Boys countable, so we have put 20. Now, when we were doing possessive pronouns, I have also explained to you possessive adjectives, and I have told you the difference between the two. I've told you that possessive pronouns can be put at the end, but possessive adjectives you have to put before a noun. My book, my pencil, my house, your book, your pencil, your house, his book, his pencil, his house, her jewelry, her shopping bag, her cutlery. So you are putting the possessive adjectives before a noun. Before a noun. If I say the book is mine, it is not possessive adjective, it is a possessive pronoun. But if I say this is my book, I am putting my before book, before noun. So it is a possessive adjective. Just drill this thing in your mind that when we are putting adjectives before noun to show ownership, to show possession of something, then it is a possessive adjective. But for that, because it is qualifying a noun, it is describing a noun, so it is important that you have to put it before a noun. Do you understand the difference? Any confusion? Yes, Rayan. On your screen you can see these adjectives show possession and ownership. We put them before noun. These are 7 in number. It's not essential that you remember these possessive adjectives, but just keep them in your mind. Just keep this rule that you have to place them before a noun. My, our, your, his, her, its, and their. I broke my pencil. This is your house. Now, I have written my before pencil. Pencil is a noun, my is a possessive adjective, house is a noun, your is a possessive adjective. Remember one thing, the best way to understand that this is an adjective, it is actually coming before a noun because it is describing noun. It is describing noun. I broke dash pencil. Whose pencil? I broke your pencil, I broke my pencil, I broke his pencil, I broke her pencil. Anything you can put. Okay? This is your house, this is my house, this is our house, this is his house, this is her house, this is their house. You can put anything. So you just need to remember this thing, that you are going to put adjectives before nouns. So first type, qualitative, which describes the quality of a noun. Quantitative, which tells about the quantity or amount or number of a noun. Then we learn about possessive, which tells about possession or ownership. Okay? Students, keep all these things in your mind. I'm going to ask you in the end, please, before starting our exercises. Now, interrogative adjectives. Obviously, I've told you interrogative means asking questions. So, adjectives, when you are asking questions about nouns, this is known as interrogative adjectives. Examples you can see: which story is the most interesting one? Whose shoes are these? Which storybook do you like the best? Okay. Uh, whose pencil is this? Anything like that. Okay, you have to put the interrogative adjectives before noun. Story is a noun, and which is a interrogative word. Shoes noun, whose is interrogative word, so which and whose are interrogative adjectives. Then demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative word, I've told you, use for 4 words, if you remember. This, that, these. Better please, you need, when you have turning on your camera, when you're turning on your camera, it is important that you should be sitting. I can see you, not your screen or anything else, or any image or anything else. Okay, the important thing is that you should be sitting. So demonstrative adjectives are 4 in number: this, that, these, and those. We use the word demonstrative to point at someone or something. This book, that picture, that pole, these apples, those mangoes, these boys, those children, that boy. These are all demonstrative adjectives. Why? Because we have put them before noun. Okay, remember, demonstrative adjectives, demonstrative pronouns are 4 in number: this, that, these, and those. Okay, and you should know the difference between this and that, these and those. This is used for nearest objects, that is for far off objects. Like if you are sitting on a chair, and say your desk or table is very near to your bed or to your chair, so you can say this desk is made of wood. Okay, so this desk, you are pointing to this desk. If you are pointing to a picture hanging on the wall, so you can say that picture. So these are used to point at something or someone. These are this, that, these, and those. We put them before nouns. This bike is my favorite. Everyone should follow that specific method. These boys play beautifully. Try to avoid those bad things which are harmful to human life. Now, this bike is a noun. That specific method is a noun. These boys, noun. Bad things, noun. Okay, those. Sometimes students, we use nouns as adjectives. Like both are nouns, but the noun which we are using, the first noun which we are using in the start, is used as an adjective, For example, I gave my friend a diamond ring. Now students, diamond is also a noun, ring is also a noun, but over here it is describing the ring. What sort of ring? So that is why we are going to use diamond as an adjective. Noun, it is a noun, but it is used as an adjective. Like if I say wooden wood chair, or you can say stone wall. Stone is also a noun, wall is also a noun, but it is describing what sort of wall it is. It is a stone wall. Okay. Now, for example, you can look at this slide, chocolate cake. If we use chocolate separately, it is a name. And cake is also a name, but it is describing a cake. What sort of cake? Chocolate cake. So chocolate over here is used as a noun. Fish market, shoe shop, city hall, army office. So over here, the first nouns are qualifying the second nouns. So the first noun is used as an adjective. In each of these cases, the first noun describes the second noun. We are told what type of cake it is. It is a chocolate cake. You can see also this example, the same rule. The nouns as an adjective always come first or before the noun or the main noun. So remember one thing, when we are using the two nouns and one noun is used as an adjective, so the noun which is used as an adjective, it is the first noun. It is the first noun. Okay. Now, Fatma Kudus, what is an adjective? When I ask you a question, you have to tell me whether right or wrong and unmute your mic. Ahmed Raza, what is an adjective?
Adjective is describing word.
Example?
Uh, but I the blue shirt,
Hmm.
beautiful
Okay,
flowers.
correct, correct. Okay, good, Fatma. Rohan, qualitative adjective.
It describes the quality of an adjective.
Noun, correct. Example? Rohan, example? It describes the quality of a noun. For example, beautiful, ugly, nice, tall, red,
Ugly,
green,
nice,
blue. Huh? These are all.
ch-
Mm-hmm.
ugly boy, fat boy, greedy Augustus Gloop.
Hmm. Good, good. Okay. Now, Moment. Yes, Moment. Quantitative adjective.
Qualitative.
Quantitative. Quantitative.
It describes the quality. Teacher, the quality one.
Beta quantity. Quantity. Quantitative. Quantitative. Quantitaty. Yes, Fatma Kudus.
Quantity describes amount and quality.
Good. It tells about the quantity, number, or amount. Can you give me any example?
The exam was taken by 30 or 50 students.
Good. Okay. So you are telling about the number. How many students? 30 or 40. I have 2 bags of flour with me. Okay. She has 3 apples in her hand. These are all quantitative. And you remember one thing, that where we are putting the adjectives before a noun. G. What is possessive adjective? Possessive adjective. Heather Abbas. Yes, Moment.
Possessive adjectives. These adjectives show possession or ownership. We put them before a noun. That there are 7 in numbers: my, our, or his, her, its, and their. And teacher, it is example will be: I broke my pencil. This is your house.
Beta, can you are that is correct, but you need to you don't need to see it from the slide. Okay, you have to Tell me on your own. I told you possessive adjectives used to show possession or ownership of something, okay? And they are always put before a noun. My book, your pencil, his marker, her jewelry shop, okay? You have to put them before a noun, okay? G. Rayan, demonstrative adjectives.
Which one are you asking?
Demonstrative adjectives.
Demonstrative adjective to it is used to point at something. For example, that is my book. It is this is your bike, etc.
Beta, you can, this is a correct answer, but you have to put this, that, these, those before a noun. That book is mine. This painting looks beautiful. These apples are delicious. Okay, you have to put them before a noun. Good. Yes, next. Who is going to tell me what are interrogative adjectives? Yes, Fatma Kudus.
Interrogative adjectives are those which and what they appear
Correct.
together with a noun.
Correct answer. Interrogative adjectives are used to ask questions or to form questions about nouns. Okay, and we have to put them before a noun. Okay, students. So we have discussed all. What are adjectives? Adjective is a describing word. It qualifies a noun, and mostly we put adjectives before a noun. Then first qualitative, it describes the quality of a noun. Quantitative, it tells about the quantity or amount of uncountable nouns and number of countable nouns. Possessive, it shows ownership. Interrogative, which are used to ask questions about nouns. Demonstrative, which is used to point at someone or something. These are four in number: this, that, these, and those. Then I've told you nouns as adjectives. Sometimes we use nouns as adjectives. In that case, the first noun is used as an adjective, not the second one. Okay. The last slide is verbs as adjectives. Now, students, like we are using the nouns as adjectives, we also use verbs as adjectives. Mostly the verbs which are used as adjectives are the present participle and past participle. Present participle are verbs having ing form. Please write it down, like cooking, chattering, chirping, going, singing, walking. These are all present participle. When we put ing with the first form of verb, it is the present participle. And past participle is the third form of verb. Past participle is the third form of verb. So, present participle and past participle are used as adjectives. Okay, present participle having ing form, past participle having the third form of verb. For example, the crying baby was, but it is important that it should be placed before a noun. If it is not placed before a noun, then it is not an adjective. You have to keep this thing in your mind, that you are using present participle and past participle before a noun. You can see this example: the broken glass can hurt anyone. The crying baby was taken away by the mother. She is disturbed by the chirping birds. The dented car was repaired. Over here, broken, crying, chirping, dented are all verbs, but they are put before noun: glass, baby, birds, car. If I write it like this, the glass was broken, then it is not an adjective. The baby is crying, then it is not an adjective. The birds are chirping, it is not an adjective. When